listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. There are some interesting celebrations here for today. You got to look at some of these. We may have some fun with these today, Christy. National Bean Counter Day. I don't know. They had their fun yesterday when they were doing all the taxes for everybody. National Health Care Decisions Day.
I got a bad feeling about this.
National Orchid Day. Do you like orchids? That could be a good one, right? How about Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day? That is today, Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. That might scare some people at the office here. I don't know if they want to see that. And the best one, Christy, here we go. National Eggs Benedict Day. We might have to go get some Eggs Benedict today. Where's the best Eggs Benedict around? I don't know. I found some over at a restaurant called The Lighthouse right on the peninsula in Balboa. They have some good Eggs Benedict. I love the Eggs Benedict. Can't go wrong on that one. Maybe wear your pajamas to go get Eggs Benedict. I don't know. Maybe that's the answer right there. Let's check the markets. It's been a bit of a yo-yo today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 66.5 points right now. Oil is up 23 cents a barrel right now. The 10-year Treasury is up 2.591, getting very close to that resistance. We'll see if it backs off there a little bit. German 10-year, it's at 0.07, so you get just about nothing back if you put your money in the 10-year bond in Germany. And you get less than your money back in Japan, negative 0.019. That is what the markets are doing right now. Hey, did you watch Bernie Sanders last night, town hall meeting? Now, I don't want to say that Bernie's not the smartest guy in the world, but think about this. He's doing a town hall meeting. Now, he's the socialist, right? So he's doing a town hall meeting on Fox News. No problem there. Now, who do you think watches Fox News? Do you think it's people that watch Fox News? I mean, do you think it's Fox News viewers are watching Fox News? Yet he's bashing the station the entire time, bashing the network the entire time. Does that make any sense? So you're basically saying you are not smart enough to watch another news broadcast. You're watching this one, so I'll bash you while I'm here. Does that make any sense? I mean, all he does is talk about how much money, well, just like most of the Democrat Party right now, how much money they're going to spend. They're going to give everything to everybody, taking everything from everybody, except Bernie himself, because moments before he went on stage, timed, I guess, kind of odd, but moments before he went on stage, he releases his tax returns. Now, I don't really care about his taxes. I just find it interesting because of the hypocrisy. Earns $561,000, pays 26% effective tax rate, which basically he's taking advantage of the same tax breaks that he complains that everybody else that makes $500,000 a year takes. And when they asked him, hey, do you want to send extra money? He just said, well, why would I do that? Well, why are you asking everybody else to do that? I don't get it. Unbelievable, but that is Bernie Sanders, hypocrite in chief. He is running to be hypocrite. Liked the idea that he liked the idea that he was in the lead apparently during one of the latest polls. But then again, don't forget, you can find a poll that'll say anything to anybody at any time. Just a thought for you right there. Guess Washington is getting all excited right now. Thursday morning, the Department of Justice says that they're going to release the Mueller report, the redacted version. Be interesting to see what that has to say and how that gets spun. You know that I'll tell you right now, you don't even have to look at the report. The Democrats are going to say, well, the president colluded, we've got the information. Obviously, Adam Schiff, lack of intelligence committee chair, and Swalwell and Liu, those are all more representatives from California. And none of them are going to be happy with the report. They were happy with Mueller before the report came out. Then when they came out saying that there is no collusion, there is no obstruction, well, they don't like that then. Fascinating to watch what's going on there. What else is going on in the daily briefing? Nancy Pelosi, did you catch that 60 Minutes interview? We didn't get a chance to talk about that yesterday. Yeah, she's talking about there's only like, quote unquote, 5 people that are lunatics on the Democrat side. Really? I think there's probably a lot more than that. You get, obviously she was referring to at the time, you wouldn't call them lunatics, but the fringe. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, talking about her. We're talking about Ilhan Omar, the anti-Semite terrorist from Minnesota. Talking about her, and I guess there's a few others that are just as... I wonder if she was referring, because she says there's only like 5. I wonder if she could have been referring to Adam Schiff, chairman of the Lack of Intelligence Committee. Could be that's who she was talking about. But obviously she can't say too much because they're the ones calling the shots. They're the ones that are telling her what to do. Fascinating watching all of that. More news from the fake New York Times. I guess it's fake news New York Times. Wonder why it is that they cannot ever find anybody to talk on the record. Could it be that they are not really people that are giving them this information? So some secret source tells the paper that Mr. Trump is using illegal aliens to divert attention away from the Mueller report, which we're hearing will be released again on Thursday. The paper says that President Trump reportedly revived an earlier proposal to release migrants in sanctuary cities, in part to distract from lingering questions about special counsel Robert Mueller's report. Maybe it would be wise for the New York Times to do a little bit of investigative research. That's kind of what a newspaper... maybe they're not a newspaper. Maybe it's a propaganda machine. But maybe that's what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe go down to the border and see. Maybe they can go to Phoenix and see. Think about this. Now, I don't know what the population is of Phoenix. But I know that it's not a major, it's not a Los Angeles. It's not in New York. Let me see if we can get that real quick. Population of Phoenix, guys. So let's see what what would happen if you drop an extra 30,000 illegal immigrants into your city and have to provide them services. So Phoenix has 1.6 million people. So what's that, about 0.5% extra in people? Now, Mayor de Blasio, the communist in New York, he says you can't bring the illegals to sanctuary cities. He doesn't cite his sourcing for that information, probably because there is no sourcing. He says it's illegal for the president to do that, and he'll take him to court. Well, isn't that a big surprise?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Democrats take the president to court over everything he does. Do you think he's not planning for that with every move that he makes to try and protect the country anymore? It's just the way it is. Looking at the first quarter, further in the Daily Briefing. Mine went blank there for a minute. Right, it's right in front of me. Daily Briefing. So we're looking at the first quarter. Trump campaign reports $30 million in the first quarter. Set to report that it raised, again, $30 million. First quarter, edging out his top two Democrat rivals combined. According to figures it provided to the Associated Press, the haul brings the campaign's cash on hand, $40.8 million. Unprecedented war chest for an incumbent president this early in a campaign. Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale said in a statement that Trump is, quote, is in a vastly stronger position at this point than any of previous incumbent president running for re-election and only continues to build momentum, unquote. Nancy Pelosi back in the news following the president's tweet. Again, she's going to blame everything on the president. Pelosi said Sunday after Trump tweeted a video targeting Representative Omar. Why is it targeting when he just uses her words? I mean, he just plays a video of her words. Quote, I spoke with Sergeant-at-Arms to ensure that Capitol Police are conducting a security assessment to safeguard Congresswoman Omar, her family, and her staff. They will continue to monitor and address the threats she faces. Pelosi called on Trump to take down the video, which she called disrespectful and dangerous. Yeah, I agree. It's her words. I mean, Ilhan Omar is disrespectful and dangerous, and it's a shame that when you show what she has to say, it riles up Nancy Pelosi, but she won't do anything about it. Amazing. Further in the briefing, another Honduran migrant caravan headed to the U.S. It's making its way from Honduras. Spanish language news showed footage. Hundreds of Hondurans waiting at a bus station getting ready to start the long journey. Amazing. Bernie Sanders writes a complaint letter after being criticized for being a millionaire 2020 Democrat. Hopeful Bernie Sanders sent an angry letter to a liberal think tank after its website, quote, Think Progress, published an article critical of Sanders' wealth, which was mostly garnered from the books he has written. Well, the think tanks, they don't like the idea of people being successful in America. I think it's a good idea. I like the idea. Amazing how it is. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Got an interesting broadcast lined up for you today. The most common credit report questions that come into Ron Siegel Radio. And hey, just an alert. Tomorrow we've got Sarah Layton is coming on, and we're going to talk about marketing on Instagram. Marketing on Instagram. So you're not going to want to miss that broadcast tomorrow. Again, marketing on Instagram. If you're in a business that does any kind of marketing, you want to be sure to tune in. Homeowners, now is a good time to sell your house. We'll talk about that in the real-time real estate segment. And I told you yesterday I was going to get into depth on why you should never, ever use a debit card to pay for anything. All that and more, you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Don't even miss any part of our broadcast. Shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the Mortgage Minute today, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star is the one that I recommend. Check them out. They've got all the programs, all the products, and in fact, they even have the Fast Pass loan approval, saving you potentially $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home. Dow Jones Industrial Average is now up 55.76. It was up more than that earlier. NASDAQ up 27.73. S&P 500 up 4.23. The 10-year Treasuries, 2.589 is the yield. That's up about 4 basis points. Thank goodness it's staying below that support level or that resistance level of 2.60. I know it sounds like it's a small deal, but that really is a big difference between the 2.589 and breaking through a level of resistance. So we're always watching that for you. And we also look at the mortgage-backed securities. Those are down 8 basis points. That means interest rates on the mortgage-backed securities are up. So we're watching that for you as well. Again, we're hoping that one looking forward to that one staying below the resistance levels that we've been watching on a regular basis. I want to get that number. We want that to go up. We don't want the Fannie Mae mortgage-backed securities. We want that number to go up, which means interest rates for you would come down. So we are sitting right now pretty much at a support level at 102.3. We're at 102.38 is where we're sitting right now. And we're at 102.33 is where that level of support is. But why is all of this happening? Those numbers, you can find them if you know where to look. But we got a great report that came out this morning from the National Association of Home Builders. They released their Housing Market Index, which is a real-time read on builder confidence. The report came in at 63. What the heck does that mean? Who knows? All we know is that any number over 50 is good, and it means we're getting some good sentiment from the builders. The 3 components of the report: current sales increased 1 point to 69, future sales fell 1 point to 71, buyer traffic jumped 3 points to 47. Again, any reading over 50 signals expansion. So buyer traffic is the only one that is slightly weak but is making strides. Ongoing job growth, favorable demographics, and low interest rate environment will help to modestly spark sales growth in the near term, according to the National Association of Home Builders chief economist Robert Dietz. Again, the mortgage bonds are lower. They're just above support at their 50-day moving average. If bonds can bounce off this level, they will have plenty of room to improve before hitting the dual level of resistance of the 25-day and the 50-day moving average, and the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, I should say. If the 50-day is broken, we have to be very careful. So we will be watching that closely for you. That just keep an eye on that one. That's our job. That's what we do at Ron Siegel Radio, at Siegel Lending Team, is we're consistently watching to see what the markets are doing, how we can provide you some good guidance on the markets. That is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. They are the only ones I recommend with the Fast Pass loan approval. Now, some of you may know that I have beaten anorexia. I talk about it on a regular basis. We were talking earlier about the concept and getting the National Eggs Benedict Day. But hey, take a look at this one. There's some research I found, and I thought I would share this with you. How about 10 of the best restaurant apps for fast food? Now, I've shared this with you before. My son Mitchell, he is a fast food aficionado, and he used to hang out with some guys that they would always look at what the apps told them. That's where they would decide where to go to lunch. Whoever sent out the best lunch deal that day, that's where they were going. So if you've downloaded the apps for places that you visit most, maybe you should if you haven't done that. Most of the major fast casual restaurant chains have been aggressively pushing their apps, which allow you to find nearby restaurants, view the menu, and even place your order. Why are they doing that? Well, it's a combination. Number one, we the consumer like it. Number two, then they don't have to pay a person at the counter if you're doing that work for them. So when we hear of Bernie and Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Adam Schiff, the lack of intelligence, Adam Schiff, Max Waters, Mad Max, right? If you hear of these people saying, well, we got to increase the minimum wage, well, what that means is create an app so we can get rid of the entry-level worker. That's exactly what they're trying to say. But here are the 10 of the best restaurant apps, and they get you free food at the same restaurant. I over to cashier, asked the customer if he was a loyalty club member. The customer said he had a card but never bothered to activate it. You and everybody else, the cashier responded, explaining that he was missing out on rewards. As you'll see from the list below, most of these restaurant chains will give you something just for taking 2 minutes to sign up for their loyalty program, and the rewards only get better over time. First off, Chick-fil-A. When you sign up for the free Chick-fil-A One membership program, you'll start earning points with every purchase. Every order or scan gives you points that you can use toward available rewards like an ice cream drink, Chick-fil-A sandwich. It's a digital experience. That's their idea there. There are 3 membership tiers, and benefits increase based on how much you spend annually. Chick-fil-A One member, $1 equals 10 points. Chick-fil-A One Silver member, achieved upon earning 1,000 points in a year. $1,000 spent at Chick-fil-A, it's 11 points. $1 gets you 11 points. Chick-fil-A One Red member, that means you spent $5,000 in a year, earning 5,000 points in a year. $1 gets you 12 points. So I guess you don't get a whole heck of a lot more for the One Red if you're above the One Silver. So by getting 5,000 points, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good above the 1,000 points. All members can count on a free birthday treat every year. Plus, you may receive surprise rewards from your local restaurant. Second one, Domino's. Get the door. It's Domino's. The chain's $5.99 menu gets even cheaper when you earn points that lead to free pizza. Piece of the Pie Rewards is a pretty simple program. You earn 10 points for every order of $10 or more and receive a free medium pizza after you earn 60 points. The app is best for frequent Domino's customers since points expire 6 months after you earn them. Panera Bread, do you have a My Panera Rewards card? The fast casual chain known for its 100% clean menu will give you a treat, usually a pastry just for signing up, plus something extra on your birthday. You can get the Panera's app to see your rewards and the number of visits until your next one. Firehouse Subs. Do we have Firehouse Subs around here in Orange County, Southern California? Not sure if we've got any Firehouse Subs around here. Restaurant chain founded by firefighters wants you to celebrate your birthday with a free medium sub by signing up for Firehouse Rewards program. Members earn points that can be redeemed for complimentary drinks, meal upgrades, and free subs and salads. Dunkin' Donuts has their app. Could you use another cup of coffee? Sign up for the DD Perks. Double D's at Dunkin' Donuts to receive a free beverage when you add a Double D card to your account, and you'll get a reward on your birthday too. Starbucks, that's the one I use a lot. Starbucks has made big changes to its popular rewards program. The coffee chain now says it'll allow members to earn and redeem stars for rewards from the first day they sign up. Members will continue to earn 2 stars for every $1 they spend when they use their Starbucks card. With the changes, Starbucks says you'll be able to earn enough stars to redeem a reward in as few as 2 or 3 visits. Here's how the customers can use their rewards to get free items. 25 stars is an extra espresso shot. 50 stars, a brewed hot coffee. 150 stars, handcrafted drink. 200 stars, lunch sandwich, protein box, or salad. 400 stars gets you select merchandise or packaged coffee. Some favorite Starbucks rewards perks are sticking around. Members will continue to get free brewed hot coffee and tea refills, a free birthday treat, personalized offers, earn stars faster. McDonald's even has an app. If you love the taste of McDonald's Big Mac, they've got their app going. Jamba Juice has an app. Moe's Southwest Chili. Yeah, they're in Atlanta, so we don't have to worry about that one. Auntie Anne's, they've got the pretzels. So tell me, what is your favorite restaurant app? I just signed up for the Cafe Rio. They just came to Yorba Linda, so Cafe Rio. If you want the best burrito around, Cafe Rio is the spot. And again, having beaten anorexia, I know about these things. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, some of the top questions we get at Ron Siegel Radio regarding credit. So we're going to chat about that when we come back. Homeowners, now is a good time to sell your house. We'll talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today. Being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. NEST, N-E-S-T, 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Homeowners, now is a good time to sell your house. That is the subject of today's real-time real estate report. Every month, the National Association of Realtors releases their Seller Traffic Index as a part of their Realtors Confidence Index. In the latest release, the National Association of Realtors reported that homeowners have been reluctant to sell their houses. This is reflected when broken down by state. Only 11 states have a stable level of seller traffic compared to the remainder of the country, which came in with a weak rating. We can see in the table that I shared on social media earlier, the number of people who moved last year is half of what the rate was in the 1980s. So in the 80s, 85, 86, we had 46.5 million people moved. That was 20.2% of the population. 2016, 2017, 34.9 million people moved. That's 11% of the population. 2017 to 2018, 32 million people moved, 10.1% of the population. This does not come as a surprise, as 10-year length, the number of years someone owns a home before moving again, among existing homeowners has increased. It has risen from an average of 6 years, 1985 to 2008, up to 9.5 years over the last few years. I shared the graph on this one earlier as well, what the 85 all the way through 2018 is of the tenure of home ownership, how long we're staying in our homes. What led to this change in behavior is the question. Falling prices during the housing crisis led to many homeowners having negative equity in their home, meaning they owed more on their mortgage than the home was worth. Others were able to secure a low interest rate on their mortgage and have not been quick to obtain a new mortgage with a higher rate. Will this trend continue? Recently, the National Association of Realtors reported that 69% of people believe now is a good time to sell a home. With a strong economy, low interest rates, and wages continuing to rise, some homeowners will be ready to put their house on the market and move up to the home of their dreams. Bottom line, There is a great opportunity for sellers to take advantage of the current real estate market before new inventory comes to market. If you're considering selling your house or would like to know your options, let's get together today to help you understand the possibilities available to you. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Let's get into the conversation this morning. Some of the questions that we get, Ron Siegel Radio, about credit questions. It's always a big topic on the broadcasts. First question, how do I get my annual credit report? Whether you believe you've been a victim of identity theft, need to check and dispute errors and inaccuracies, or are preparing to take out a loan and want to know what lenders will see when they pull your credit, it is important to know how to access your credit reports. So there's a couple of different things. Under federal law, the three major credit agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, are required to provide consumers with one free copy of their credit report every year. To get yours, as well as some things to consider along the way as you maintain your credit, begin credit repair, or work on ways to build credit. So how do you get a copy of your credit report? Well, all you have to do is go to myannualcreditreport.com. You can get it there. My recommendation is you sign up for a service, and it is a paid service, myfico.com. Myfico.com costs about $40 a month, and it gives you the most accurate credit report you are going to get. It gives you your credit scores, and you can actually learn a lot from myfico.com, because every time your score changes by even 1 point, it's going to give you a readout on why it changed, what happened to cause the change. So, I've seen some very interesting things, and I've talked about credit for decades. I had one of the items on my credit report, the balance on one of my accounts dropped, and my score dropped, which didn't make any sense to me, but you get to watch it and you learn from it. The changing of my name, the correcting of my name, that had an effect on my credit score as well. So a lot of folks say, well, I don't need to worry about it. It's just there's no credit numbers for that, no assignment for that. Well, my score jumped significantly when they corrected my name on my credit report. So just a issue for you to be aware of. So again, the free one, myannualcreditreport.com or annualcreditreport.com is the free service that the bureaus have to give you once a year. They have to give that to you as well if their information caused you to be denied credit for any reason at all. So either one of those two options are issues where they've got to give you a copy of that credit report. Again, if you have questions on your credit report, make sure you don't hit that dispute button on there. That is not the right way to question or to challenge an item that's on your report. Do not use that button. It's not in your best interest. It is in the best interest of the Bureau. Next question. What is a good credit score? Now, this is one that most people, the vast majority of the people, think or have an incorrect assumption on. Most credit scores, including the FICO score and Vantage score, operate within a range between 300 and 850. A good credit score is typically one that is 700 or above. 700 or above. I know you've seen some of those reports where they talk about the different numbers, or that you've got an 800 FICO score. No, you don't need to have an 800 FICO score at all. It's good. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing to have an 800 FICO, but it does not give you any significant benefit over the 750. And if you're looking for a home loan, 700 to 749 is still going to get you some great rates, although it is considered a good score, not a great score. Excellent is 750 plus, good is 700 to 749, fair 650 to 699, poor 600 to 649, and bad credit is below 600. But even these numbers and ranges are not set in stone. I have seen some investors that a 740 gets you the best rates that they have, even though we're telling you that 750 or above is considered excellent. So again, every lender has their own unique ranges. One lender that is looking to approve more borrowers might approve applicants with scores of 680 or higher. Another might be more selective and only approve those with scores of 750 or higher. Or both lenders might offer credit to anyone with a score of at least 650. So how do you rate? A good credit score is what each of us aspires to. After all, a credit score is one of the most important determining factors when it comes to borrowing money and getting a low rate when you do. But trying to pin down a specific number that means your credit score is quote-unquote good can be tricky. After all, there are lots of different credit scores that lenders use when trying to decide whether to grant you a loan. What one lender may view as a good score may fall into another lender's fair category. Not to mention you may score differently from model to model and for different services. So mortgages are one modeling number, autos are another modeling number, credit cards are another modeling number. What do credit card companies look for? Your credit scores are definitely one of the main things that credit companies look for before extending credit because they are good risk indicators. However, credit card companies will also take a close look at how many reported delinquencies you have, how many hard inquiries were added to your credit file, your overall credit utilization rate, your annual income, and your health of your credit history. What is a FICO score? Your FICO credit score from each of the three major bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Each of these credit scores is based on different information that each of the bureaus have on you. And as mentioned above, this available information may very well differ from bureau to bureau. One bureau may have one set of information, may not be available on another bureau's database. What is the Vantage score? I call it the FACO score. A Vantage score is a credit scoring model that emerged over a decade ago and was a joint venture between the three bureaus. The Vantage score is used in comparison and competes with Fair Isaac Corporation's model. When determining if you're a good candidate for a loan or line of credit, a lender may look at your credit scores. Most lenders, though, look at the FICO scores. Some are starting to look at Vantage, but that's just the ones that don't want to pay for the true scoring. What is the scoring range? I'm going to have to tell you that one when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We're going to also talk about why you should never, ever use a debit card. We'll talk about that one as well. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. I'm sorry, it's brought to you by Blue Water Credit. Actually, Credit Sanitizer just forwards right to Blue Water Credit anyway, so either way, you're going to get to the same spot. It's just a different website. But Blue Water Credit, they are the go-to company. Jeff Sipes and his team do a great job of helping people get their credit reports corrected. Why you should never use a debit card to pay for anything. Nothing at all. Never use that debit card. If you need cash out of the ATM, maybe. Banks love to pitch debit cards as a way to avoid spending money you do not have, but there are many reasons why you should never, ever, ever use a debit card as a form of payment, as tempting as it might be. We're going to talk about the dangers of debit cards and their hidden costs, as well as identify half a dozen common places where you should never, ever, did I say never? Use a debit card. Understanding the dangers of the debit card. Debit cards, which are tied to your checking account, let you make purchases while avoiding the interest charges you might face if you used a credit card. That's why budget-conscious consumers who don't want to charge up a card they can't afford to pay are constantly being pushed to debit cards. There's a big problem. What happens if a criminal comprises your debit card? Then you have no money to pay your mortgage, your car loans, or buy gas or food, among other things. Your checks start bouncing. Depending upon your bank or credit union, the institution may not cover the bounce check charges that result from the debit card fraud. Remember, I didn't say they'll give you the money back from the debit card, but you bounce checks. What are they going to do about those? Let's take a closer look at a couple of inherent flaws in the DNA of debit cards. So under federal law, a debit card does not have the same protections that a credit card does. Basic protections and consequences of what happens in cases of debit card versus credit card fraud, courtesy of the Federal Trade Commission. Debit card fraud, you're responsible for only up to $50 of unauthorized transactions if you report the card as lost or stolen within 2 business days. Didn't report the fraud within 2 days, you could lose up to $500 if someone uses your physical debit card without your permission, provided you report the fraudulent charges within 60 days after your statement is mailed to you. Didn't make that 60-day window to report fraud, you face potential unlimited damage. It means you get none of your money back if someone uses your ATM or debit card without your permission. Pretty strict guidelines you have to meet for getting protection when you regularly use a debit card, right? Contrast that with the level of protection you get when you use a credit card. Credit card fraud. You are not responsible for unauthorized charges under federal law if your credit card number is stolen. You won't be held liable for more than $50 in unauthorized charges if your actual card is stolen. Clearly, you're afforded a lot more leeway when you use a credit card versus a debit card. Of course, It should go without saying that if you have problems paying off your credit card every month, you're going to dig yourself deep into debt hole pretty quickly using credit for everything. But for now, we're just looking at the consumer protections of a debit card versus a credit card. Hidden costs of the debit card. Unfortunately, the lack of consumer protection when you pay with debit aren't the only pitfall to be aware of. Consider this: the banking industry pushes debit cards as being almost equivalent to cash, but there's a psychological factor the banks are missing here, according to many reports. There's a completely different psychological thing with cash than with the card. If I go somewhere and spend $1 bill, it's gone, right? I've got to come up with another one to have more. There's a sense of finiteness with physical cash that you don't have with a piece of plastic. For this reason, going cash only is much more likely to help you get your spending under control than using any kind of plastic, be it debit or credit. Just in case you're wondering, I sometimes use a debit card, not very often. Getting money out of the ATM. Never use the debit card for point of sale purchases at a cash register. If you had trouble making sure you have more money than month, and easy for me to say, if you have not been able to discipline yourself with spending, then nothing beats going cash only. 6 places you should never use a card: when buying airline tickets, independent ATMs, pay at the pump gas stations, when you're buying online at a restaurant, and when purchasing appliances. Many credit cards will double the manufacturer's warranty on products purchased with a card, giving you extra peace of mind. Debit cards are full of hidden dangers for your wallet. We know giving up debit completely is not for everyone. Maybe you're saying right now that it would be next to impossible for you to stop using this kind of plastic. In that case, you should at least take one additional step: open a second account and tie that to your debit card. Then fund the second account only with money that's used for debit card activity, or use that Square Cash card that we've talked to you about from time to time. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by our friends at Blue Water Credit. Get a hold of them. Your credit report's wrong. We know it is. They all are. Blue Water has the solutions. Let's get back to the common questions we get at Ron Siegel Radio with regard to credit. The credit score range, what is it? There are many credit scores available to lenders, and they each develop their own credit score range. Why is that important? Because if you get your credit score, you need to know the credit score range you are looking at so you understand where your number fits in. I had somebody the other day just said to me, well, my credit score is an 870. I said, well, that's not a FICO score. That's probably a Vantage score, and it's an older one at that. FICO scores range from 300 to 850. Vantage scores in their 3.0 version range from 300 to 850. Vantage scores from the 1.0 and 2.0 range, those are the 501 to 990 score. Experience Plus is 330 to 830. TransUnion has a new account score 2.0, 300 to 850. And Equifax's credit score 280 to 850. So you can see all of those are different, and none of them are really stored. So when somebody says, well, I checked my credit yesterday and this is what it was, that does not mean it's going to be the same today. And even if you check it right now, it may not be the same a little later in the day, because as data is coming into the bureaus, then when somebody requests a FICO score, the FICO score is then generated and shared. So the FICO score is always a generated number. It is not a number that is ever being stored on the FICO model. So with all of the scores listed above, the higher the number, then the lower the risk. With that being said, consumers with higher scores are more likely to get approved for credit than those with lower scores. What is your score? Got to know it. What can I get with a good score? Well, you're going to get better interest rates. You're going to get better offers for credit cards. Think about this. When credit card companies are looking to buy credit information from the credit bureaus, that's how the bureaus make billions of dollars every year. It's selling your data. Yeah, you don't hear about that. You hear about Facebook, and you hear about Google, and you hear about all these other companies selling your data. Never hear about it from the bureaus. That's how they make all their money, is selling your data. The banks and credit card companies, they make more money with your interest rate higher. The higher your interest rate, the more money they make. So when you understand that, then you realize that, you know something? If that's the case, do they want to be selling the lower number, or do they want to sell the higher number? They want to sell those people with lower scores. It's much better for them that way. So as they continue to sell those lower scores, that's the best way of doing things. They're going to make more money, so they want to keep your scores low. Just a thought for you. Let's see. Here's another one that I like to always bring up when I'm doing these conversations. I pay off my bill every month. Why don't I see an improvement in my credit score? Well, the question is, when do you pay it off? That is the big issue. When are you paying it? So if you're paying your credit card off right right after you get your bill, they're not going to ever report the fact that you had a lower balance for the majority of the month, because they basically are only reporting at the statement closing date. So if your statement closes today, the 16th of the month, well, they're going to report probably tomorrow. Whatever your balance was today, they're going to report that probably tomorrow, and that's going to be your score for the next 30 days, or your utilization rate for the next 30 days. So what do you want to do then? Well, the solution there is to go online about a week before your statement closing date, make the largest payment you can. If you're going to pay off your entire bill, that's the best. Make that payment, and then when you have the statement closing date, it's going to show a zero balance. Then you're going to get a utilization score that's enhanced, be much better for you that way. So, as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.